Twitter, which has now gone ahead and suspended the profile of a Chinese virologist, Dr. Li Mengyang, and after she publicly claimed that China had manufactured coronavirus 19 in the Wuhan lab of virology. And the Twitter account remains suspended with a message on the page that now reads, the account has been suspended. And Twitter suspends accounts which violate the Twitter rules. And earlier in May, Twitter had started flagging her tweets, disputed claims on coronavirus, calling it disputed claims on coronavirus. And while it's not known whether a particular tweet was the reason her account was suspended, Dr. Yan on a US talk show yesterday had commented that she had been suspended because they don't want the people to know their truth. All right, let's open up this debate. Joining me on the broadcast, in fact, Joyita Basu continues with me on the broadcast. So does Major General Professor G.D. Dwivedi. Suresh K. Goyal is also staying with me on the broadcast, and so does Sumit Peer. And I'll come to you, Joyita, first of all. Twitter again playing at the hands of China. And surprising for the fact that there are only some 5 to 6 tweets that have been issued by this particular doctor from China, and her account goes ahead and gets suspended simply because of the fact that she's mentioned that the virus had been manufactured in the Wuhan lab of virology. What is the reason behind this? How can Twitter go ahead and justify this?
Well, Twitter cannot justify it, and most importantly, Twitter, it's a shame. If you ask me, it's a shame because Twitter itself is banned by China. Users in China cannot access Twitter, and for that, Twitter to bend over backwards to please the Chinese, it's more than shocking. The least you could have done as a platform that is used by the rest of the world, you should stand up to censorship by China. Instead of that, what you are doing is that you are towing China's line. Of course, now the question is that what is China promising Twitter? So that is something, that is an angle I think that needs to be probed. Why is it that a social media platform that is banned by China is so keen to ban somebody who is basically a Chinese dissident? Right, so something is definitely wrong here.
Absolutely. And Mr. General G. Dwivedi, coming over here, there have been reports that at least 25 of these accounts from Twitter, from YouTube, from Facebook, that go ahead and propagate, spread wrong information, misinformation, disinformation, and back the Chinese propaganda are under the radar of the Indian government. There has been a report, in fact, and rightfully so. And these accounts that have been identified, that have been flagged by the Indian government, the right department over there, come from Russia, come from Hong Kong, China, of course. Step in the right direction, the fact that we have gone ahead and banned 100 plus of these apps of the Chinese, which China goes ahead and calls it, making it, saying, crying foul, saying that, it's a wrong call, it is India that is going to be suffering. It's time we go ahead and further ban a number of these technological firms that are currently functioning in India.
Well, firstly, let me come to this point of Li Mengyang. Well, she is a very important source because she had worked in the Wuhan Institute of Virology lab, and she was working on pneumonia. So when she is making a statement, there is very high degree of authenticity, and that's what has attracted Chinese. And as we are talking in the last segment of your debate, while Pakistan is using terrorism as a tool, the Chinese strategy is more homed on grey zone warfare. That is a bulletless warfare. That's why after 40 years, some bullets have been fired in Pangong, so north and south. So they have been resorting to grey zone warfare. And in that, biological warfare is one of the very important segments since 2010. PLA has been financing, and PLA doctors are working on the biological biotechs as one of the important weapons. Now coming to Twitter, Joyita brought it rightly that Twitter is banned by the Chinese. But to best of my knowledge, having worked in our own embassies, a lot of Chinese embassies and their diplomats are using Twitter, and also the companies like Huawei, they are all using it, but they have to take permission from the Chinese to do that. So therefore, Twitter has an interest, indirectly or underhand. Twitter is being used extensively by number of segments of Chinese. Now coming to your question of our steps that we have taken. I think we have taken very right steps because these apps actually further Chinese information warfare, psychological warfare, and snooping. There is an act which was passed in 2017 in which all the private companies of Chinese are duty bound. They are under obligation to share information with the Chinese government. And most of the companies are front faces of the government itself. They are public sector undertaking like Huawei. Their CEO was ex-PLA officer. So they are passing a lot of value information to the Chinese government. And if you remember, TikTok ban itself has cost Chinese $6 billion. And I have been time and again stating one fact: if you have to bring Chinese on the knees, hit their economy. And that's where it hurt, and that's where Chinese will actually begin to behave. Chinese are strong militarily, but they are very vulnerable economically. The day Chinese economy suffers, the Chinese people will no more be in that pact of government where they said, we will give you prosperity, but don't question the political system.
Okay, Suresh Goyal coming over here, adding on to what Gigi Dwivedi has gone ahead and said, but I want to go ahead and also talk about how such a strong nation as United States has gone ahead and separated itself, distanced itself from the WHO, World Health Organization. The WTA has also gone ahead and started towing the Chinese line. Now, WHO has also gone ahead, they sent out a team in China, in Wuhan, and they refused to even go ahead and enter inside the laboratory to go ahead and analyze, go ahead and check out and monitor what exactly happened. It's a complete sham game. This is what is at the face of it, but China continues to make this entire game plan of it sell across the world, at least to those nations to which it continues to interact with financially, to go ahead and invest with financially. Not just the smaller nations I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about Southeast Asia. I'm not talking about perhaps Sri Lanka and Bangladesh and other smaller nations in the subcontinent, but I'm also talking about bigger nations in the European Union that have continued to stay silent when these atrocities have been meted out by China. Everybody knows for a fact that yes, China has gone ahead and done this. There is a massive likelihood that yes, the virus did come out from the Chinese Wuhan laboratory, and this is proof enough. But still, there does not seem to be a world consensus on it. China is managing it, and China is managing it really, really well.
Madam, the point really here is that China has adopted a very different kind of a strategy in managing international opinion than what many other big countries normally do. This is going to be a slightly lengthy reply, but please do have some patience. Now, normally what happens is that the big countries like the USA, like the UK and France, they think that their influence in the UN organization would depend upon their regular contributions to these and what is called the administrative budget of these organizations. However, what actually happens is that most of these organizations for their functioning depend upon two different kinds of inputs. One is the administrative budget, which actually pays for the salary, etc., and the other is the program inputs. Now, China has gone ahead and contributed in a major way to the programming inputs in these organizations, and with the result that WHO realizes, for example, that unless Chinese continue to fund their projects in other countries in Africa, they will be nowhere. So they become beholden to China. Same thing happens to the other UN agencies, where Chinese have used this to their advantage and put in their people, their personnel in major executive and decision-taking positions in these organizations, and this continues to feed into the growing Chinese influence. To give you an example, 30 years ago when I was in the United Nations, it was rare to find a Chinese person in a position more senior than an Assistant Secretary General level, and there were few, very few, 2 or 3. Today there are at least 5 Chinese personnel who are in very senior positions of the rank of USG, heading different organizations like WTO, and there are, sorry, not WTO, but other organizations. They are heading those organizations now. So with this influence that China has, China continues to call the shots. And similarly, Europe, for example. Now, Europe, if they take hard action against China, they tend to then basically become victims in the trade games
Yeah.
where WTO does play an important role on subsidies, anti-dumping suits, etc., etc. Therefore, Chinese having put their people in various places in these organizations, China is now continuing to basically play them to their advantage. And I don't see that changing in the near future till we come to appointing different people in different jobs and reducing Chinese presence in these organizations.
Absolutely. Okay, let me get like an individual over here who's going to know exactly how these technical issues when it comes to surveillance, when it comes to snooping, come into play over here. And Ajay Datta joins me on the broadcast. Ajay, this is obviously a gross violation, an account of a doctor from China who's currently located in New York goes ahead and gets suspended simply because of the fact that she's raised her voice over the origin of over the origin of the coronavirus, which she says and is in all likelihood true, that it was manufactured in the Wuhan lab of virology back in November, December when the first cases came out. Action on the other hand has been taken by a number of on a number of these apps. When it comes to the Chinese apps, 100 plus of these apps have been banned, going ahead and giving not just securing our own security on our own personnel when it comes to data mining, when it comes to data snooping that Chinese are so good at. There had been another report that had come out by a publication just a couple of days ago where it had gone about it saying that some 10,000 of these important entities, high profile individuals including the Prime Minister, the President, they have all being monitored by these Chinese technology firm, although it tries to distance itself from the CCP. But there is glaring evidences that go about saying that yes, the CCP has been at the forefront of funding this technological firm, and everybody, and proof is there and evidence is there for everybody to see. So now when we talk about National Cyber Security Coordinator and how they go about lambasting these firms and how they go about giving them regulations and orders and guidelines that need to be followed, it's not for the first time that Twitter and Facebook have been called by the Indian government to go ahead and change their tactic, to go ahead and take action against disinformation, misinformation, propaganda being spread by China against India and against a number of Indian firms and agencies. How do we go ahead and correct this? Because Twitter being a United States firm, a United States technological firm, but playing and towing Chinese line, highly difficult to go ahead and control it over there.
Very well said, Megha. There are plethora of issues you have put in together, whether it is national security, snooping on data, 10,000 people. I guess 10,000 is just a number. There are lot more data, because in the last debate I was just discussing that if you have one compromised person in a parliament or in secretariat, you can actually compromise the entire secretariat because you can read the entire land data, you can read the entire WAN data. You need not to actually get into everybody's PC. If you have the access to the network, by compromising one person, you can actually do a lot more. But my question is also my answer is around two more folds. When we have a virologist who is claiming to have a man-made virus, what kind of efforts are being made to find out the reality around it, and what kind of efforts are made to, is there an antivirus also available in China? Is there any information about it? Is there any virus, if it is man-made, was there any counter-made also together? Is there any investigation around that? By banning the account by Twitter, which looks to me a very small kind of exercise to that entire information where the world is dealing with this particular pandemic. I think these are all very near situations around what we all need to focus is get hold of this person and get out as much information as possible and see what could be done to save the world from this pandemic. rather than it is really a situation whether she could lose this information or not, she could share the information or not. These are all things can be dealt very clearly. We do not know the contract, we do not know the extent of truthness or the false here. Is it just another plant? She must have flew. I don't know which country she is right now when we are talking. I think what we need to find out, many more people, virologists around together working. Data is snooped by Chinese. We all know that. This is not a surprise today. This has been going on since years. Almost every Android device, iOS device, Windows phone, whatever device we are using, they are all moving through the networks which are being designed by mostly Chinese. Entire telecom companies are Chinese hub, and data is moving through that. Whatever device we use, whatever software we use, so we just do not know what kind of data is being going, what kind of recordings are happening, what kind of access to the microphone or mobiles are. There is a lot which could be discussed, lot could be seen, lot has to be seen, lot must be seen for sure. And as I was advocating, I have digital army in India. This is the need now to start thinking that we have a real cyber force, just like we have the land, air and water covered by the forces. We need to have the digital forces to control the entire data movement and see what's going on in the country. I think these are the two folds which we have to see. There's a lot required to be done around both the areas.
Lot required to be done in both the areas. Sumit Peer, isn't it surprising that Twitter, which is a United States firm, Jack Dorsey, who started off this particular platform, the social media platform, is himself not being able to control how it functions across the world, with Chinese being extremely pervasive in going ahead and blocking anything and whatever they are going ahead and liking and disliking?
I think, Megha, there are a couple of aspects here. First of all, when you look at Twitter, it's an American company, but we don't know where the funding of the Twitter comes from. Today, Twitter is banned in India, but if tomorrow Twitter is allowed in China, the valuation of the company will go 5 to 10 times what it is right now, because that is what these people like Jack Dorsey are looking. I find it very ironical and disturbing when a sellout journalist of Pakistan calls our Prime Minister divider-in-chief on Twitter. His account is not sealed.
Absolutely.
When somebody goes and calls our Prime Minister fascist and calls Donald Trump a Nazi, their accounts don't get sealed. But when a virologist who is a resident of Hong Kong, she had to flee Hong Kong for the fear of her life, she had to go to US, when she is there to put the evidence in black and white to say, look, this is how the virus was made in Wuhan labs, her account was freezed. This is a concerted move to silence the voices of dissent against the China, because people like Twitter are helping the world and helping the China not to let the world know the truth. Because a couple of things. Forget this lady, ma'am. There's a gentleman called Luke Antonio Montenegro. This person has got the Nobel laureate. He's a Nobel laureate. He has got the Nobel Prize on HIV. He is the person who has done most extensive work on HIV. May of 2020, this person says, quote unquote, this is a man-made virus. It's an RNA virus. It has a human imprint. Point number 2. Usually from a bat to animal, when you change classes, that cycle time is 500 years or more. This virus is not so many years old. It has been in laboratories made to go through the human cell cultures. That is why it was able to adapt so fast to human cells and infect millions of people in the next span of time. Point number 3. Wasn't Chinese New Year used as which is the biggest human migration in the world, as the biggest spreader of the virus? Now this lady says on the December of 31st last year, Chinese knew about this virus. Still they let the Chinese New Year happen. They let the millions of Chinese come into China, get infected and go out in planes to the whole world and infect the whole world. This truth is coming out, and that voice is being scuttled by Twitter. That is what we should be debating. Why is Twitter working with hand and gloves with China? If Twitter has so much of problems when it comes to the news of democracies like India, largest democracy, US, oldest democracy, Modi ji, President Donald Trump, you don't block those accounts. Why is it so? Why is there hypocrisy? What is this about? Do you think, Mr. Twitter and Mr. Jack Dorsey, the world is stupid? We can see through your designs. We can see through your ambitions. What Joyita ji rightly said, the important thing is, what has China promised you? How many $1 billion is your valuation going to go up? Are you going to enter Chinese market? What is this all about? But the thing is, the truth has a way of coming out. This lady has gone on, the US TV media networks, and people like you are picking up. This is very good, because now the millions and billions of Indians will know about it. and she says, ma'am, I have the evidence which you can know this virus was made in lab and you don't need any knowledge of biology for it. It has a clear human imprint in it. So this is what is the news. Banning of an account can delay the news, but it cannot delay the justice. The world will know the truth. This is Chinese virus. Whatever you may say, it is a Chinese virus made in Wuhan labs. It did not originate from Wuhan wet market. It is the Wuhan labs. And incidentally, ma'am, there are 1,500 more virus cultures there. What are Chinese doing with it? What General Dwivedi rightly said. Is it the biological war on the world? Now they infect the world with a virus and they come to our borders in 1 month of that. Do we think it's a coincidence? Do we think the world is stupid? Do you think you are now using...
I think you make a very, very pertinent point over here, Sumit Piri. In fact, you've raised some 3-4 issues over here. What happens when these viruses that are right now being manufactured in Pakistan, where this virus has been travelled from China, the Wuhan lab, right into Rawalpindi. There are these manufacturing that is taking place, and perhaps there's going to be a chemical war. There's going to be bio warfare. How exactly is India and the entire world going to safeguard itself? And already companies like Twitter, Facebook, they are all towing the Chinese line. How exactly do we go about shutting them up? Isn't there solidarity that needs to be shown with the rest of the world against China? Are these fundings more important for these business person rather than having a solidarian approach, going ahead and coming together united against a common enemy of the entire world, because it is the pandemic that has led to the suffering of hundreds and thousands of people. There are a number of people who have died, the number of people who are currently suffering, and economy obviously has gone ahead into doldrums. It is going to continue until the vaccine does come up and appear. That is going to be the latter half of 2021. That's a very pertinent, important point that Sumit Piri has gone ahead and mentioned, and so have my rest of my guests. I thank all of you on the broadcast.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.